right, let's do it. Alright guys, here we go. It is an IEM replay cast, grabbing one of these replays that we've got from such an amazing huge tournament where a ton of the amazing games weren't shown on the mainstream. Today we're going to be doing Neeb vs Nerchio from a group stage. I believe they're in Group C. Nice Zerg vs Protoss match down here in the bottom right hand side from Poland. The blue Zerg, he is Nerchio. Up here in the top left-hand side, in the red, from the US of A, he can swim through land. He is Neeb. 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 As the fans cheered for him at WCS Austin. Neeb. The worst cheer ever invented in the history of competitive anything. Neeb. It was really bad. Thanks, dudes. Oh yeah, 20-minute boiled eggs are the best, Beagle guy. Smells really good when you crack those open. Yeah, it's great. Alright, here we go. Let's do it, guys. It is going to be gateway opening here for Neeb. Gateway scout into Nexus. Very standard, straightforward, and typical play. You can see he's got two dudes on gas, and he's going to put a third one on in a moment. He's going to go back, take his second gas guys are on 21. Queue up one more probe, and he's going to put down another pylon on 22. Right here. There we go. Back at home, the probe being a bit of a cheeky dickhead's having a zap on the drone. This other drone's like, get out of here. You're being really annoying. The probe's like, alright, I'll back off. But guess what? I got shields, so he's just going to do a bit of a dance. Shields regenerating. These two drones are like, piss off, mate. We just want to mine from that base. Link speed is now starting here for Nerchio. And an Adept is on the way as well. Straight into Stargate for Neeb. And then Warp Gate into second Adept. The most straightforward of games. Actually, Nerchio did go for a rather fast third base. So you can see he skipped the Queen in the main base for now. He's just getting the Queen in the natural. And he's actually going Overlord before starting the Queen. So not really prioritizing this Queen. Instead prioritizing drone production. And we'll be building 4 Zerglings. Actually, only 2 Zerglings are coming. And the Adept's already almost here. Neeb might just commit if he only sees 2 Zerglings. Now we see Nerchio going up to a grand total of 8. They aren't quite ready yet, though. Is Neeb feeling lucky? No. Not going to take any chances, of course. There's always the chance there are Zerglings hiding just out of vision. They come in and surround you, so not worth the trade, Neeb decides. Stargate does now finish, and we are going to see an Oracle. See that Oracle in there starting to get chrono boosted out. Don't think he's chrono boosted probes at all. Third Adept is out and is going to be opting for another pylon in the main base as well. Oh, these 2 Adepts, they threaten the shade, they cancel it, they dive in. 1 drone has gone down. They're going to have to try and shade on out if they want to get some more damage. He could have thrown that shade a second earlier. A little bit slow on that. He does get 1 more drone though. And does get another 3 drones as well as mining time. Not bad. That's a good start to things here for Neeb. Second and third gateway are going down, as well as a Phoenix on the way to follow that up. Meanwhile, Nerchio, Spore Crawlers do seem to be right on time. Not going to defend the third with a Spore just yet, just focusing on Queens, but is supply blocked right now, actually. And can't really be building anything with this lava, which really sucks, because that Oracle could have turned on its laser beam and actually killed those lava. But, oh, Neeb taking a lot of unnecessary damage on that Oracle. And, oh, at the same time, Lings do try to bust through, but that Adept shaded backwards. And the emergency wall-off was good from Neeb. Keeps that alive. This Phoenix having a bit of a hunt, killing 1 Overlord. These Queens actually might save it. If Nerchio can stop himself from losing any more Overlords, this is going to be a good start. Twilight Council is the follow-up for Neeb. It's not particularly fast, though, because he had to wall off. And he's got a second Oracle on the way as well. So it will be a Glaive Adept follow-up, but it's going to be kind of late, so... It's a little bit awkward. I feel like Neeb probably shouldn't focus on the Glaive Adept pressure as much anymore. Maybe just go straight into Charge or Archons or something like that. Or if he does commit, he's got to go hard and commit heaps to it. He's already got 5 Adepts out. He's going to be sending a probe out to take this third base. These Oracles haven't really found many kills yet. Still only 3 kills. Just you know, forcing responses, but not really finding the damage just yet. Is a Baneling Nest on the way. Nerchio keen to play Hydra Bane by the look of things. No Evolution Chamber yet, though, so no upgrades started. 5 Adepts coming across. Actually, you know what? Even though this is definitely late, he's just going to Chrono Boost the Glaives, and Neeb always does this, where his 5 Adepts come forward, and they try to force a response. He pulls back, and you see, check it out. Is there... No! Like, right now, Nerchio is supply blocked, so it hasn't really forced a response. But there we go, Nerchio builds 10 drones. Meanwhile, another 3 Adepts going to warp in at home in a moment, and he's going to be moving across, yeah. He's going to be moving across and hitting that Glaive Adept timing. Could find some big damage. Oracle's here. Oh man, Neeb really not finding what he wants. Only gets 2 kills there. And does end up revealing that base. How many Adepts we got? 11. 11 Adepts. Still no move out. Neeb in a bizarre position right now. He's going for the Templar Archives. He's got to move out. You can't just not pressure with this many Adepts. He's going to go up to 15. I can count. That's 13, pig. 14. 14 Adepts. Wow. 13 pushing. 1 at home in the wall. And what do we have for Nerchio? 65 drones. He just doesn't have any Zerglings, though. Okay, he's making 11 Banelings, but there's no Zerglings. There's only 4 Queens. Nerchio has been so greedy, assuming there was no actual commitment coming from Neeb. And now Neeb, great spread on those Adepts. The Banelings not being microed correctly from Nerchio. Nerchio letting 4 of them detonate on a single Adept. Does get a few good detonations there, but it might be too little too late. These Adepts are going to find some damage now. Shading over into that 3rd base. The Oracles looking for damage. They haven't found too much, actually. These drones are going to run, and it looks like about 6 will go down before the base is evacuated. Neeb's got to shade back into that natural. He's still got a window to do damage here. But if Nerchio can stabilize and hang on, he will be in an okay position. There we go. Zerglings will get their upper end, but oh, the Oracles come back in. They almost instantly run out of energy, though. Not able to offer their laser beams, and in the end, a good hold from an unprepared position by Nerchio. Hangs on, and I wouldn't say he's ahead. Definitely would have preferred to have more Zerglings and everything ready when that first hit. Or preferably Roaches if your opponent's going for that many Glaive Adepts. It's just always going to be the more efficient way to deal with it. But Nerchio is going to counterattack now. Zergling's kind of just looking to catch probes running between these bases. Little does he know, though, Neeb's 3rd is already fully saturated. Neeb is one of the best players in the world at just non-stop probing. And look at that, 0 damage on the Protoss units. A ton of Zerglings go down. That's a good trade. We've got 6 more gateways going down here for Neeb. 3 creating a wall on the 3rd, 3 in the main base. Hydra production starting for Nerchio, but the 4th base not even halfway done. It's going to be kind of a Nerchio who's forced to mass Hydralisks off about 70 workers here. Go for the Hydra Bane, and with Colossi on the way, that is perfect against Hydra Baneling tech. So here we go. If you guys are just tuning in, this is IEM. We are casting some of the series from the replays, and we'll see how that goes. Have you heard the soon chants in Overwatch League? No, I haven't, Akabov. They actually have a soon chant? Are you serious? That sounds terrible. Obviously one of the most ancient Blizzard memes, where they would constantly say, oh yeah, this feature's coming soon. StarCraft 2 is coming soon. Fucking 8 years later, the game actually comes out, and you're like, really? It took another 8 years? All the hungry fans are left foaming at the mouth. Blizzard soon, trademarked, of course, because no one else's soon means anything like it. And a nice little pressure here from Neeb coming forward. Nerchio wanted to drone this 4th. Very mineral-focused Nerchio here. Makes sense since he's not really going for lurkers or anything else, and looks like he does want to have a healthy number of Zerglings mixed in this army, but Colossus Splash will do well against that, as will Force Fields. Charge is now about to finish up, as well as +1 upgrades. No more upgrades on the way for Nerchio right now. His Hydras are going to kind of suck. I know a lot of players focus on the +2 melee, and that's great for killing workers. You know what? +2 melee Zerglings and Banelings not very effective against a Colossi-based army, not with Force Field in there as well. So the Hydras, they can compete with this on creep, but as the upgrades go more in Neeb's favor with +2 starting, that's going to be really good for him. These Hydras here, I don't know if they're looking for a Prism or they're preparing to drop, but oh, Neeb finds them. And 4 free Hydralisks, he'll take that trade any day. Neeb up in supply, getting close to maxed out. He's got 75 probes going up onto this 4th base that's fully established. And Nerchio is still just on Hydra Bane. The Spire's too late. Like, Nerchio, I mean, he's down in supply. He's got Banelings, which are very supply efficient. But this just looks good for Neeb. Neeb's swapping into Immortal Production now. So he's basically saying, look, yeah, if you kill the Colossi with Corruptors, they're not going to be useful against any of my other units. I'm actually swapping back into ground. It was actually a third Colossi. So 3 Colossi into double Immortal Production. No Storm from Neeb just yet. That's a little bit curious. He's just Archons, and it seems like he really wants to commit to this push, this pressure right now, adding Stasis Traps along his push and potential retreat path, so that he can actually have a bit of safety there. A few of these drones Maynard and getting caught out, they do get roasted. The Hydra Bane tries to come in, but there's just not enough here. Where's Nerchio's army? Half of it's not even here. Good force fields there do hold out a lot of the Banes, but I wouldn't mind a retreat here from Neeb. There's a ton more Banelings coming in. Not that many Hydras to back it up, though. Only 14 Hydras. Once the Banelings are gone, there's just not that much on the ground here. Nerchio, though, does clean up a lot of this army. 1 Colossi left on red hit points. Big stasis trap there for the defense, and that Colossus will get out of there. 2 more Colossi are starting up. He says, hey, there's no Corruptors. We might as well go back into Colossi. And even though this fight looked okay for Nerchio, you got to remember, Nerchio is actually down on economy. 69 workers to 83. Nerchio's like, hey, my 4th is half mining. Neeb's like, I have a fully mining 4th, and I'm going out to take a 5th. Neeb is just so far ahead right now. The units lost, you can see. Baneling trades, very rarely cost efficient. Sometimes they're great because they just bust through your opponent's army, and you've got a superior economy. But in this case, Nerchio did not have the superior economy. He doesn't really have any momentum going for him. These stasis traps continue to be annoying. Does snap one of the 2 oracles. Neeb here are looking for the right angle. He's going to send a huge Zealot counterattack down the left and adopt a defensive stance on the right. He wants to just zone out these Hydras as best he can. Zealots are going to find the 5th. He's got some on the hatchery. He's sicking some on the bottom left-hand corner at the same time. Nerchio with one big desperate attack needs to do damage. Another stasis trap, knocking down some Zerglings. Yeah, Banelings hitting Archons, Immortals, and Colossi. Not the best trade here for Nerchio once again. And the Colossi, one does go down. It's the most bizarre thing, seeing Colossi die to Banelings. But as long as Neeb can hang on, he will be okay. And he's got Storm just seconds away from finishing. But the Zealots have done so much damage in the meantime. All these Colossi a bit too far out. Neeb, you're going to give up this base, dude. What are you doing? These High Templar out in the open. Neeb actually just dropping the ball a little bit right now. His Zealots are doing massive damage. He's killed the 5th. He's ransacked the 4th as well. His own 5th base is up, but he's just lost 27 probes unnecessarily. And his Colossi. He's got Storm up now, but I feel like this was Neeb's game to lose, and lose it he may have done here. I mean, Nerchio obviously took a big beating. He's now sending these workers back to that 4th base. But he's got a bigger army supply. He's got a ton of Hydras. They don't have upgrades. They've got... Oh, no, he's got +1 now, so they're actually not too bad. +2, of course, is finished. Double Immortal Production, Archon, Storm, Charge Lot. I mean, Banelings are going to be crucial for clearing up the Charge Lots as Neeb goes back to a more rudimentary composition. Without Banelings, the Hydras will get shreked. Banelings to hit the High Templar as well could be very big. Problem for Neeb is his army isn't complete. He doesn't have enough Immortals and Archons up front yet. He needs more Archons and Immortals to provide buffer. And right now, Neeb, he's forgotten to morph his High Templar into Archons. You've got to morph more of these. You do not want 8 High Templar for Storm. That's just silly. When you have this little buffer for them, what you want more than anything is more Immortals and Archons. Neeb, he's starting to get that count up now. His 4th base does have 2 cannons and a battery. What is the maneuver here from Nerchio? Looks like he's going to chase this Warp Prism down the left flank. And at the same time, Hive is coming in. 11 Mutalisks! Oh, a very clever tech switch. Neeb does not have any mobile anti-air right now. Just this single Phoenix. No blink. Warping in Stalkers is going to suck. Making Phoenix one at a time out of the Stargate also going to kind of suck. So this is a clever choice by Nerchio here in the weird kind of low economy game. Nerchio, never really a guy who gets way ahead in the economy, but always a guy who takes good fights. And he's somehow done it with Banelings against Colossi this series. I don't even know what's going on. It is a best of 3. It's his only game 1, but here we go. The Mutas fly in. Phoenix is starting out of the Stargate. A Fleet Beacon goes down in desperation. These probes in the open, though, they are going to take a lot of damage. The Phoenix tries to distract, gets instantly shut down by Nerchio's Mutalisk Micro. They're going to fly in now. A nice Storm. A second nice Storm. Next the Mutalisks, and only one of them does fall, but the rest do have to move on. Good defense so far by Neeb. The Muta's just going to be forced to take refuge in this bit of a cavern here. The cannons are starting to get up. There is a cannon in the natural as well. That Archon dishes out 1 hit, but there's just nothing over here. The Archons can't get back through this wall. That cannon could go down. The Mutalisks, though, ooh, don't fight that, don't fight that. Is going to back off. Still, 9 Mutalisks alive, but at the same time, Nerchio taking advantage of the distraction. He's going to push down the right-hand side of the map. Mutalisks do take out a bunch of probes. They depower the Stargate as well, and are going to start fighting these Stalkers and trading out. Banelings engaging Stalkers over there. Probes trying to evacuate this base. We've got more Banelings coming in. I don't know if they're going to find the hits they're looking for. A nice Storm takes them out. A few Zealots do go down, but all things considered, this is still an incredibly scary Protoss army, and at the same time, that's enough Stalkers. The Stalkers rout the Mutalisks. The Mutas have to run home. Nerchio takes a base snipe, though, and he's going to have to run home saying, look, I sacrificed a lot of army there, but I've got Broodlord tech about to finish. Corruptor's on the way. If I can just defend the counterattack, Neeb's barely mining right now. We see it in the income. He's only really got this base. 11 probes on minerals. Like, what is that? 5 mineral patches. 4 mineral patches in the natural. The main's pretty much mined out. He's even putting probes on them. He's so desperate to find more resources. And I think Neeb is just saying, look, we've got to kill him right now. We know Nerchio's got too much mining. We know he might be heading towards Broodlord, so I've got to go right now. He's up 10 army supply. It's an incredibly scary Protoss army. And I think Nerchio might be a little bit too clumped here. He doesn't actually have Broodlords on the way yet. Nerchio, you got to pull back from this. He's using the ramp to his advantage. Forces Neeb back down. He's got to morph those Broodlords. He's not morphing the Broodlords. He's trying to just take the fight now. He says, look, the Broodlords probably aren't going to be ready in time. Oh, but he's clumped up. He's clumped up his units. They're all going to come in one angle. The storms are going to be massive, big storms on the Banelings. A few good Baneling detonations do connect. Is it enough, though? I don't think so. These Storm on the right side shreks the Banelings. Oh, here we go. There's just too much. Nerchio does manage to hang on. I feel like if he moved down just a little bit further, Neeb might have cornered that army and caught them really clumped up, but it turned out there were actually some Banes coming from there, and from there, and from there, so I was a little bit presumptuous, thinking Nerchio had cornered his whole army. It was only about 1/3 of his army, and that was totally okay. So, thank you very much for the support, guys. We're going to go into game number 2 momentarily. Dr. Detroit with the Twitch Prime sub, and Kerfuffles also. Thank you, guys. Welcome to the pigsty. I appreciate the support. Appreciate the support, mein Lieber. Alright, it's going to let me back in. It takes just a few seconds to get the next replay up since it is on the last patch. These aren't live games, guys. These are replay casts. I like to do one of these after lunch every day. Just to kind of break up the content a little bit and give you guys some high-level games. So these games weren't actually cast live, or if they were, most of the series I'm doing, some of them were featured on the main stream, most were only featured on the B or C stream, and some weren't featured at all. So a lot of you wouldn't have seen these games. I know some of the hardcore guys have watched every single one of these, but most of you haven't. So let's go, guys. Game number 2. And unfortunately, throwing game number 1 away just a little bit. I mean, it wasn't like a big throw. It was like a... Sorry, not throwing away. He let it slip. It was like the start of Cliffhanger where the glove slips off, okay? Probably shouldn't have been in a position where the little buckle snapped in the first place. I don't know what shitty gear he was using, but he did let that one slip away when it should have been an easy climb across, all right? Down here in the bottom left-hand side, he can swim through land, but apparently he's not that good at climbing mountains. He is Neeb. Up here in the top right-hand side, in the blue, the Zerg player from Poland, he is Nerchio. Impressive poise from Nerchio to just keep fighting his way back into that game after being in what I thought was a pretty shit position. I won't mince my words. I felt like it was pretty bad for him, but you know, he came out of it on top, so hats off to Nerchio. I think really the keys in that last game is there was 1 or 2 small supply blocks in the early game for Nerchio, and those first 2 adepts did a little bit more damage than they should have. So I think just being a little bit more on top of that those adepts could help him out quite a bit. His queen needs to be up front, kind of pushing back the adepts when they push in like that. To punish them and just pull the drones away, but he kind of didn't do that. Ended up losing a few workers, and I'm trying to think where else he lost momentum in that game. It was the big adept pressure, wasn't it? He wasn't prepared for the big adept pressure in game 1, so I feel like Nerchio's issue was kind of, he really was focused on Hydrabane. This weird delayed adept pressure from Neeb just caught him off guard, did a little bit too much damage, and from there Nerchio was just a bit behind, and it allowed Neeb to get a fully saturated 3-base setup, go into Colossi, Archons, and just kind of dictate that whole mid-game. So I think Nerchio will be looking to establish himself a little bit stronger here in game number 2 right from the get-go. Heads up, guys. Unfortunately, we're not going to be playing 2v2s with Maynard. We were going to be doing that in about 20 minutes, but Maynard said one of his friends has actually just got into town for his wedding earlier than expected, so he's gone to meet up with him and take care of his mate, make him feel welcome over there in the Radelaide. So he's had to bail for today. Hopefully, we'll play some more games tomorrow. He just he WhatsApped me during lunch, so I was like, no, but it's okay. I think I'll go Mega Cheese after lunch. I think we'll just hop on my Star-Lord account and just cheese the shit out of people. Yeah. When can we expect Pig to be nice and lewd with another V-neck stream? Well, it's a U-neck, remember? This is the most ridiculous shirt I've ever worn. And I hope I never wear it again. But unfortunately, I have no dignity. So I probably will at some point. And that was like... It was a cheer goal, right? Or was it? No, it was a tip goal. It was more tips, more nips. It was like the dumbest tip goal I've ever put up, and it filled up quicker than any other tip goal I've ever put up. And I was like, I guess I have to stream with my nipples showing now. Like, okay, maybe not nipples, but a ton of cleavage. All right. So, you know, I'm not part of the broken esports promises, guys. I deliver. If I make a stupid tip goal, we hit that goal, I follow through. All right? I embarrass myself for an entire stream. Nothing like hairy man cleavage. It's pretty beautiful, yeah. Not. All right, guys, let's talk about this game a little bit. It's been super standard openings once again. This time the Adepts didn't commit though. He backed off, and this is one of these little things you can do to kind of mix up the pressure that the Zerg player feels. At high level, you'll see this is really important. Oh, he thought another drone was about to pop out of the extractor, so he pulled back, went hold position, then was like, oh, no one's gonna pop out? Okay, turn off the laser beam and fly out. Phoenix has already found an Overlord. He's gonna look. Oh, he's changed his path. Yeah, he's thinking about it. He's changing. Okay, what's his path? He's going to go up. He's going to find this Overlord. Good path. Good path. Oracle's just backing off for now. We've got a few Adepts out. Second Oracle as well, already out. So really committing to that, going straight into Robo and then Twilight. So it's going to be the Archon drop follow-up. Does have a third gateway, interestingly. No fourth one, though. He's going to be moving out to take this third base. So Neeb here doing a lot. The Phoenix going to come over, going to damage the Overlord, but good reaction by Nerchio. Says, leave Overlord alone. Just because he's a bit of a perv. But here we go. Oh, it was almost a bait. The two Oracles come in. And, oh, good micro, good micro. I would have loved to see him kill this Queen as well. He's going to do it. Oh, lures the Queens off creep, and the Oracles come in for the kill. Very nice pickups here by Neeb. Comes back in as well, and is going to get 4 drones and 2 queens. A fantastic start here for Neeb. Neeb's Adepts do get surrounded in the middle of the map. 2 of them already have gone down. It looks like he's going to lose all of them. 1 Adept with 10 hit points gets out of there. 2 sentries warping in, and Neeb quickly trying to form a choke here so that he can defend those sentries. But it's looking pretty dangerous, man. These Oracles don't really have energy right now. Oh, they've got enough to turn their laser beams on for like half a second. Nice force fields will buy time. Yeah, 1 Oracle turns on its laser beam. It's going to start killing the Zerglings. Nerchio's got to get the hell out of there, man. This is so frustrating when you're forced to build this many Zerglings and you can't really do much with it. But I think if he goes back in now... Oh, he might find the sentry. Oh, my God. There is a Zealot here now. But as long as he kills that sentry, it's all good. This shield battery. Oh. Nerchio says, look, I'm going to lose every single Zergling to kill a sentry. Nah, F that, man. Does decide to back off. These Oracles still looking for more damage. Not really finding it just yet. If we look at the units lost tab... obviously, that looks very, very good for Neeb, but Neeb has committed a lot to do damage. So you might be like, oh, cool, like, obviously he's winning. Yeah, I wouldn't hate his position at all, but you got to remember 2 Oracles and a Phoenix is quite a commitment early on. It's delayed his follow-up tech, and now it's like, well, where is his follow-up pressure? He doesn't have an Archon drop. He doesn't have a Prism out. He's just building Immortals. He's trying to make Archons now. He's thinking about starting +1. Where's that Forge? Should be starting +1 real soon. And he really would like to find a few more workers with the Oracles. Oh, looks for the drone transfer. The Queen's trying to protect it, but now the drones come out into the open. Oh, don't transfer revelated drones, I guess, is the The lesson learnt from that, right? He revelated all the drones in the mineral line, and then some of them transferred down, and he knew exactly when they were coming. So zipped on in, zapped them down, and now I think Neeb's in a very comfortable position. Having killed some more workers and slowed everything down, he's got extra gateways coming. Storms on the way. Still just building immortals out of a single robo. I'd love to see that second robo go down at some point, but he might just not prioritize it. Instead, I mean, where's the... Still no warp prism. You can just run charge lots down the edges of the map, but it's not really as good as having an actual warp prism in position. 70 workers going into Hydra Bane is Nerchio. Did he cancel that second Baneling nest? No, he let it finish. He built a second Baneling nest and a random Spore Crawler to protect his drones, and then he forgot about them and let them finish. So, a little bit sloppy there from Nerchio. So Neeb is going to come forward now. Gets a nice revelation on the Hydras. Of course, at this moment, you're kind of worried about a huge Hydra Bane all incoming, but I think he spotted the saturation on the third being full. Might have spotted the drone count on the fourth as well. And he sees this army coming across. Neeb posturing to pressure the fourth base is going to turn around and come back to defend his own fourth, realizing the best option is probably to pull back. And he's actually going for 6 High Templar with Storm once again here. Really seems to love that. 2 Zealots are going to go clear out the northern watchtower, get a bit of map control. Finally, Warp Prism going down the south side of the map. Cannons down here, another good stasis trap, same as in game number 1. Nerchio is 1 game away from winning this series. If he can actually connect Banelings on these High Templar, he can just collapse his Hydras and Lings on top of the Immortals and win the game. So it's really a battle at this point. If there's any engagements of Banelings trying to connect High Templar trying to protect the army with Storm, while the army tries to protect the High Templar from the Banelings. So you got to babysit that army really, really well. Make sure that players are not going to manage to take those out. And oh, Baneling drops Nerchio. Oh, you sexy boy. Sexy boy Nerchio going to try and drop Banes on the High Templar. There's only 2 Archons to shoot up right now, so he's going to have to land Storms on those Overlords to take him down. We got Zealots in the south side. The north side completely controlled by Nerchio. Nerchio's creep spread is sick, by the way. He's got +2 melee and +2 range on the way, so going just for the attack upgrades right now. Here we go, he's coming in. Oh, the Baneling drop coming in, but oh man, these High Templar barely get out of there in time. And holy crap. Damn. Oh, the High Templar. They managed to hang on there. And Nerchio, oh, what a sick maneuver. But Neeb, with the even sicker hold, hangs on. And that's actually cool. That's very cool. Alright, here we go. Zealots coming in from all sides. These Zerglings are trying to get the wraparound there. They are going to surround these Zealots. There we go. Neeb doing very well in this game. He's got the 4th up. He needs that gas. He's building more Immortals. He doesn't really transition at this point. I think he's just going to say, look, I've got a ton of High Templar. We're just going to make more Archons, more Immortals, and go from there. Right now, Nerchio doing a good job of maintaining map presence, though. The problem for Nerchio is he's still playing this older style of Hydra Bane into Broodlords, but he's doing the aggressive style where he's like, I need to stop your 4th base and do damage and then go into Broods. But Neeb stopped him. Neeb kept the 4th. Took out a ton of Banelings in that engage, and once that failed, this is like, oh, I'm going to Broodlords, but it's really, really late, and I don't even have my Spire started right now. It's too late to really be a big threat. These Hydras find a fight on the north. I mean, it looked okay for a second, but I think in the end that comes out in Neeb's favor. Neeb's just going to kind of cover the map. He keeps building up the strength of his core army. More Archons, more High Templar, more Immortals. Zealot's going to kind of come in from the flanks as well. I mean, Nerchio's doing a great job of map control, but if these Hydras get cornered, he is screwed, dude. Oh, he was trying to set up a drop down here. 12 Hydras, 3 Overlords, a perfect little drop squad. But Neeb catches it, and Nerchio forced to swing in on the north side at the same time. I think he snapped the last Oracle. No, the Oracles have still been... Man, they've been microed so well by Neeb. He's kept them alive. These Hydras have to retreat. The one on the south moving back in. Neeb's like, fight me, dickhead. Can you stop running away from my army? Nerchio should be able to snipe this 5th, but oh, the Hydras are in the open. Get out of there, Hydras. The Zealots, there's not many Zealots in this army, thankfully. Zealots could hunt those Hydras down. He's going to push back up in on the north. Oh, and this is what I'm talking about. Zealots versus Hydras, dude. It's not what you want, man. Zealots are just going to start hunting them down. We've got a nice couple of Overlords, but the Phoenix is already working on them. And these Zerglings and Hydras, no match for this many +2 Zealots. Baneling's desperately trying to morph. Nerchio in full retreat. Nothing to deal with the army on the south side either. Neeb is in control. He's going to take out that hatchery. Storms starting to land on that ramp. More storms landing on these Hydralisks. They're trying to take refuge behind the mineral line. Sporecrawler does take out the Observer. Hydras and Banes trying to come in from the sides. High Templar in the open. They've got Immortals on both sides, and the storms blanket everything. Rando, Immortal. Rando Calrissian himself, this Immortal, just walked through that fucking battle to reinforce the army. Let's have an instant replay of that. What the fuck, man? Look at this guy. He's like, I'm helping, guys. I'm gonna come help. Just like walks through. He's like, I'm here, guys. Oh, and he takes a Hydra kill as well, and then he tanks the Zerglings. What a ledge. What a legend. All right, Neeb ties it up 1-1, guys. Let's go into game number 3. Holy shit. Clean game there by Neeb. I mean, I thought that push from Nerchio would have done it. I really thought he would have done it. But Neeb's reaction was about as good as you could hope for. Like, he didn't have any warning or anything either. And then he was just like, oh shit, there's like double drop coming in. And those High Templar just wedged themselves in that corner and blanketed everything in Storm. And that's how he hung on in that game. Very well played. What a ledge. A legend. Should I cosplay as a Villo? Oh, you're trying to bait me to say something really mean, Mitnui. I'm gonna avoid it. I'm gonna step above. I'm not gonna. Well, you're not trying to bait me into it, but I'm tempted to, is what I mean. I'm tempted to say something really mean. I'm not gonna say anything mean. I'm just gonna say nah. I think bacon and pork products probably more interesting cosplays for me at the moment. Maybe I'll get a pork crackling outfit. We'll see how we go. All right, guys, it is going to be game number 3 of this best of 3 series. We are doing an IEM Katowice World Championship replay cast. Some of the series that we wanted to highlight and kind of show off. Some of the games have already been streamed. Some of them haven't, but they are all friggin' amazing. So, guys, down here in the bottom right-hand side, in the red Protoss. In the red Protoss. He is Neeb. Neeb. His opponent up here in the top left-hand side, the guy who hates Protoss vehemently. Did I say that right? Vehemently? I've never said that word out loud before. He is Nerchio. Should we do some etymology? Not etymology. Actually, let's do some etymology on the second monitor while we watch this early game. I'm going to put this on Neeb's camera. We're going to go vehement. From French, Latin meaning impetuous and violent, intense, high in degree, from late Middle English. And from vehir, which meant to carry in Latin as well, apparently. All right. Perhaps from an unrecorded adjective meaning deprived of mind, influenced by carry. Okay, interesting. Cool. V, it's more of a V, is it? Vehemently. Vehemently. Audio went bad for a second. Oh, sorry guys, I think maybe I knocked my cord. Is it better now? Yeah? Ooh, sorry guys, maybe I knocked my cord. Is it better now? Thank you. Hi Bonnie. Yeah, sorry guys, I use an analog setup rather than USB, so if I knock it, sometimes it goes crazy. Apologies, dudes. Alright guys, game number 3. Exact same opening for Neeb, and this is I think this is the reason, the fact that I'm so bored in the first 3 minutes of most Protoss vs Zergs. Probably a good reason why we're going to be removing, they're going to be removing the Overlord drops, I think, and you know, allowing Protoss to have more openings. Whereas before it was like, nah, you need the Stargate to defend the big Ling Flood all-ins. So I think it's awesome that they're actually changing that. Now that I think about it, for a while I was a bit sad. I love my hatch tech drops, but yeah, Neeb's gonna come in, scouts with the adept, counts the drones, says that's not that many drones, but it's probably normal. I'll hang around, do another shade in a second. see what's up. Will he? Or is he just... Oh, he's just going to wait for the other adept. He's just going to dive. Neeb here threatening the double chrono boosted adept dive. Is he going to go for it? He actually could have thrown that. Oh, yeah, he's going to shade towards the main. This time, Nerchio is way better set up than game one. Creep tumor was exposed, though. Nice focus fire by Neeb. He's going to... Oh, he's going to commit. He's going to commit. Goes in, instantly focuses down 2 drones. He's going to get a 3rd and probably even a 4th for his trouble. Ooh, will he get that gas drone? Oh, does get it. Very good start to things here for Neeb. Neeb dropping a 2nd and a 3rd gateway back at home. He has an Oracle on the way and a Phoenix coming out also. Spore Crawler is going down in the main for Nerchio. He's going to cover his natural with his 2 queens. Actually, he's already going towards the 3rd Nerchio. Ooh, getting a bit ahead of himself. You've got to group these queens up. Okay, he's putting a creep tumor there, and he's going to group the queens to defend the Oracle. But if the Oracle comes in from the left, this queen out in no man's land might not be effective. Let's see what the Oracle goes for. Heading straight towards the main for now. Spore Crawler finishes up just in the nick of time. 1 drone. Ooh, 2 drones. Good pickup. Loses very little actual hull damage, and just gets on out of there. Nicely done here by Neeb. Are we going to see a Twilight Council again? I wouldn't mind it. Twilight Council. No, throw bow into Twilight. Okay. So, same as that last game. Going to be just going into either Immortal production or potentially an Archon drop. Oh, this is really bad for Neeb. Great pickup by Nerchio. Nerchio finally finds a little bit of ground in this series. You know, his game one, he had to kind of claw that one back. But here we go. You know, he takes a bit of drone losses. Definitely not ideal. 6 drones already going down, but getting a few adepts slows the 3rd down just a little bit here. And we are going to be seeing a 2nd Oracle, a 3rd Oracle on the way as well. Neeb here. He loves the disco, man. He said, who said disco's dead, baby? I got 2 disco balls right here, and they shoot fucking lasers. Lasers. Manages to take out a queen and a drone. He's going to leave those laser beams on and look for drones on the 3rd as well. Not a bad choice. Ooh, he's going to go straight through the Spore Crawler. It does take a bit of damage. Gets another few drones. Phoenix grabs an Overlord as well. Oh, cheeky, cheeky. Well done by Neeb. Same time, though, Lings are posturing to do a little bit of counter-aggression, but a 3rd Oracle groups up as well. Twilight Council now goes down. It is that Immortal production we were talking about. I mean, Neeb loves this, I guess, to just stay safe against a lot of the counterattacks that can come. And it gives him some potential follow-up pressure, because he likes to just play 1 robo rather than 2. Having the Immortal production start this early gives him a lot of strength. He could actually zap down that hatchery if he wants to. I think he's probably going to ignore it and go for drones, though, since that's such an investment of energy to do that. Here he goes. Going to dive into the main base, and he's like, whoa, there isn't even a queen to lift, dude. What? 1 Oracle does go down. Phoenix finally does lift that queen. And, the full hit point Oracle ran out of energy. Otherwise, he could have gone for about 9 kills there. Just has to settle for 6. Nerchio is still bloody annoyed at the amount of damage he's sustaining in this early game. But with a fast 4th up and his drones spilling back out to replenish these bases, I think he will be okay. Neeb now saturating that 3rd. Tons of probes coming out there. We've got a Templar Archives on the way. Charge. Has forgotten the Forge this game. He's kind of delayed that, I guess, in the midst of the 3rd Oracle aggression, taking up his attention. The Phoenix up to just 1 kill so far, but this has obviously helped push Nerchio's vision back. Nerchio's having to rely on spotting Zerglings rather than Overlords. He's trying to look for a Warp Prism down here, heading towards the main. That's what those 2 Lings are for. These ones out here just looking for any sort of frontal push. Meanwhile, Neeb is looking for any drop play. Phoenix here on the right-hand side of the map. Immortals and a few Zealots going to move out. I love this from Neeb, just pushing back Nerchio's vision. And Nerchio's actually been quite greedy. He's gone up to 77 workers this game, which I think is the correct way to play it. But now he's going to be a little bit unsure. He's like, shit. I still haven't started upgrades, but can I really afford to? No, I've got to build Hydras because I just saw what looked like an attack coming. Nerchio's a little bit blind. He does have a Zergling out now, and he says, oh, okay. You're not actually pushing, are you? But even that distraction seems to have distracted Nerchio. A distraction distracted Nerchio from starting his +1. Dude, upgrades are very important. And I mean, the Forge does only now finish for Neeb, but he is going to start those upgrades. And finally, we do see +1 and a 2nd Evo Chamber go down here for Nerchio. Nerchio's got a sick economy, by the way. 80 drones, guys. 80 workers. He has a much better position than in Game 1 and 2 at this stage. Neeb is going for Storm. Does he have High Templar? Yes, he does. He's already got 6 High Templar up. Cannons and shield batteries going down everywhere. And we've seen what happens next. Neeb goes for the 4th, and Nerchio tries his hardest to stop him getting that 4th base. That's really the pattern. These guys seem to both just be playing this very straight up style. Nerchio saying, I don't want to try anything tricky until you go for the 4th. That's when you're spread out. That's when you're vulnerable. But the stasis traps, the oracle usage is the linchpin of Neeb's defense. Stasis traps have got him out of so much trouble throughout this series. And not just that, but his ability to revelate and see the opponent's army is why he's been so well prepared. This time, though, he's going to be dealing with much bigger numbers. It's not going to be about just seeing the army and swatting it down. He's going to need to micro near perfectly to hang on. Lings, Banes, Hydras spilling in from all directions. Nerchio not really going for that fast hive or anything like that. He's very predictable in his playstyle, and that is the one thing going for Neeb. I think he knows exactly what he's up against. Yep, he's like cannons, shield batteries, defend, 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 and oh, here we go. Nerchio changing it up a little bit, going for a big delayed drop into the main base. Their Phoenix will spot this and give warning, but Hydra Bane in the main is going to be very powerful. At the same time, posturing down here on the furthest possible angle away from that drop. He's going to come in. Neeb's going to spot this drop at the same time, though. He's got a huge assault on his 3rd base to deal with. Banelings connecting with those Zealots. The shield battery says, who cares? I'm just going to heal them up instantly. And, ooh, Banelings in the mineral line. A few workers are starting to go down at the same time. And unload in the main base does take out all those Stalkers and the Phoenix. This is a good start to things for Nerchio. This side is a little bit scary, though. I think he needs to back off. He's got to get these Hydras out of here. He's coming in through the middle, but I talked about those stasis traps. They're so powerful. The High Templar Archives. Oh, you gotta focus it. Oh, no, Nerchio. You could have finished that Templar Archives. It would have been well worth the 2 Hydras. A recall by Neeb to this base. He says, no, get out. Get out, get out, get out of my base, dickhead. This Hydra's going to come back in. I'd love to see him snipe that, but I think Neeb is well aware of how bad losing that Templar Archives would be right now, and this Hydra is going to get focused down. The one upside of this drop play is Nerchio has forced a lot of Stalkers. Stalkers not the unit that Neeb would be wanting to build right now. I'd love to see this drop refill and go for round 2. Nerchio, though, looks like he's just focusing on the front. Hydras, Banes spilling out. No hive, no infestation. Just 80 drones, or I guess 75 now on 4 bases. He needs a 5th at some point behind this. But for now, it's just full pedal aggression. Hydras and Lings splitting off for a drop/assault on the north once again. The great thing here is you can assault this north, lure units up here, and then load up and drop in the main. But I think Nerchio is going straight for the main. Maybe not the best decision, since there's a bunch of Stalkers and Zealots already waiting for it. We've got a small Baneling run by down here, but the wall-off is solid. I don't think Neeb's going to take too much damage to that. And ooh, High Templar a little bit in the open. Nerchio posturing. Doesn't have any creep down here just yet. The drop going into the main. One Overlord. Oh, they're all actually able to unload here. But another Zealot warp in spells doom and disaster for that drop. Nerchio not finding the damage he was looking for. At the same time, getting stormed on the front. Neeb just blocking everything. His Archon barrier is gone. He loses the Observer. It's the one thing going for Nerchio right now is the fact that these High Templar are a bit exposed, but we see more Immortals work their way down here. More High Templar morphing in that are going to be making Archons, no doubt. Really needs to make Archons with those High Templar. Throughout this series, we've seen Neeb often forgetting to morph those until a little bit later on, and that has been hurting him sometimes. +2 range, +2 melee are on the way. 4th base, yep, fully saturated. Holy crap, Neeb's work account, 83 probes. These High Templar, surely they're meant to be Archons. His Stormers, he's left behind. He's left his High Templar with Storm behind. These High Templar caught up front, morphs them into Archons at the last possible second, but it's too late. His army's being caught out here. These Hydras taking an epic trade at the same time. He's pushing in down here. The Banelings connect with the Zealots. It looks like Nerchio's going to be able to crack both fronts at once. Oh man, where are the High Templar? Here they are. Out. They were just sitting at home. Neeb moving his army into the middle of nowhere. Gets it caught at the worst possible moment. A little bit of disorganization from Neeb there, and suddenly things swing once again in Nerchio's favor. Don't get me wrong, guys. Nerchio's been piling on the pressure. It's only a matter of time till you do get a mistake out of your opponent, but it's just odd that it happened at a moment where Neeb had stabilized. He actually didn't have as much pressure on him anymore, and yet that's the moment where he makes a crucial error, leaves his High Templar behind, takes a ton of damage. He's down to just 5 Immortals, 2 Archons. He'd be up at about 10 Immortals, 5 Archons right now, which is like a death ball. It is almost unkillable by Hydra Bane when you've got Storm backing that up. Neeb, though, is going to work to reestablish this 5th base. Hydra Bane posturing on 2 fronts. We've got Zergling Hydra loading into drops once again. I kind of wish he went for 5 Overlords filled with just Hydras, because I feel like that's the best for overwhelming. Even if there's a full charge lot warp in, I think you're going to be able to take that out. Looks like he's going to push up here at the same time. Most of the army's out of position down there. Not a bad choice here by Nerchio. The drop comes in. He's actually going to do a split drop. Okay, so he's not really trying to commit. He forces the Zealot warp in. A drop goes in the back of this mineral line at the same time. These Hydra and Banes are being pushed back. Ooh, nice move out there by Neeb. These Hydras, oh, they came a little bit too far forward. He needed to drop there. He dropped too deep. Loses all the units in the main as well. A bit sloppy here from Nerchio, and now Zealots on the counterattack, forcing Nerchio back. Most importantly, this buys Neeb time. Doesn't look like a great trade, but it buys him time, it buys him room, and now he establishes a position in the middle of the map. He can branch Zealots off on the south side, buying himself more time. What does time mean? More Archons, more Immortals, and most importantly, this mothership is about to pop out. We've got Blink and Stargates on the way. He's thinking about Broodlords. He says, look, I've been just sitting back for so long. Who knows what's about to come out of Nerchio? It could be Broodlords. It could be anything. Could be Broodlords. Could be Mutalisk Tech Switch. Turns out it's nothing. Nerchio has only just started the Infestation Pit, and that's why he actually has no transition. Hydras on the high ground are going to deny at least one of the gas and a bit of the mining here. These Hydras coming in from the south as well. Nerchio still with a very frightening army, but the Banelings are all centered on one side. Storm in that one area is going to mitigate Nerchio's power. Hydras from the south do a decent job, but these Banelings are just not finding the connections. Ooh, the High Templar lands 6 Storms on the Hydras, but 2 of them do fall there before they morph into Archons. And oh man, that's a ton of Banelings. The Zealots go down. The Hydra flank from the south turns out it's a little bit too powerful. Even though the first rounds of Banelings did not find the money, the second and third ones do. And it looks like Nerchio has pretty much sealed the deal here. He's going to close in on this 5th. He's going to shut down the 5th. The 4th and the 3rd still have decent mining for Neeb, but Neeb doesn't really have anything else right now. That mothership can't afford to go down. The shield battery's going to help it out. Once again, saved by the bell, a stasis trap gonna give Neeb the time to get back in control of this game. He's got 2 High Templar. He's just going to make pure Archon shield, Archon mothership right now. There are Overseers coming forward, but... oh, okay. So he does have detection now. Immortal production is restarting. These guys are going to pop out of stasis. Nerchio is trying to just fight. He's just like, nah, just jump on it. Let's kill him. Let's kill him. There's not a lot of Protoss here. Neeb is so screwed right now. He's got so few units. Charge lots coming in. Oh, man. He's got a DT warping in. No, it was just an invisible Zealot. Ignore what I said. I'm a dumbass. These Zealots actually going to barely turn these Hydras around. Nerchio, oh, I think he needs to wait for some more Banelings before he engages. If he can deny this base one more time, I think Neeb's dead. Neeb's dead. Income-wise, we do have about 1,000 minerals more a minute coming in for Nerchio. Nerchio really needs a 6th base, actually, at this point. He's got to start transitioning these workers from the 3rd. And with no 5th, he's very focused on just breaking Neeb right now. Neeb's got a ton of Zealots. Oh, here we go. It's all about the Storm, right? We've got 5 High Templar, all about 10 seconds from Storm. Nerchio should be able to snipe this base. There's no way Neeb can fight this just yet. That Nexus is going to fall, and holy shit. Things are going from bad to worse here for Neeb. He's still got money in the bank. He's still got a lot of gas income, which means lots of Archons, lots of High Templar. The one saving grace for Neeb is that Nerchio is still on Hydra Bane. There's a Hive, but there's no Spire. There's 2+2 melee, +2 range, but there's no Carapace. There's no Ultra Tech. There's no... I mean, Ultras isn't really what you'd want. Lurkers would be fantastic, I think, but he's pretty much frozen on Hydra Bane right now, and if Neeb lands the correct Storms, Hydra Bane will disappear. That's just how these compositions work. Hydra's caught in the open right now. Big Storm lands on top of that army. Cleans up the Zealot counterattack, though, at the same time, so Nerchio is still in control of this map. Creep is knocking on the doorstep of Neeb, and, I mean, how many Banelings have we got? 8 Banelings, another 9 morphing. So the supply advantage is all real units for Nerchio right now. It's not a Baneling supply advantage, which would actually be even more powerful if you had supply-efficient Banelings in there. But, oh man, this is just gross. Look at that Hydra Concave. Beautiful angle coming in. But, oh, look at this pullback from Neeb. He wants, oh, the Zealot flank from the left at the same time. And these Hydras aren't all fighting at once. Actually, only part of his army engages. The Banelings come in a little bit late. The High Templar come forward, land 6 Storms. And that was the most perfect engagement Neeb could have possibly gotten. He cleanses everything. And you know what, guys? This is a replay cast. Holy shit, let's instantly replay that fight. This is the advantage of casting off a replay. Now, we'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. 17 minutes. Remind me to look at that fight again. because that was so well done by Neeb. And now Neeb's just counterattacking. He's like, no, get between the rallies. Go, go, go. Get between the rallies. We've got adrenal glands. More Hydras coming out. There's no Banelings ready right now. Oh, it's Rando. It's Rando from game number 2. And he's here. He made it from Blackpink through to this map, Acid Plant. Poor Rando did end up dying there. Not the smartest immortal. But, but at least he killed a couple of creep tumors before he went, right? Do we have more Storm? Yes, we do. 6 High Templar with Storm. All you really need at this point as Protoss is 1 full mineral mining base, because you've got gases and these mineral patches last a long time. Gases and these mineral patches are still going to last a little bit longer. And it's all about your High Templar and your Archons for the most part. So that's one of the things which I think Zerg players find so frustrating in this scenario is the Zerg still needs to have 2-3 full mineral lines mining, right? Right now, the fact that Nerchio doesn't have this base up is disastrous for the Zerg player. All these workers having to long distance mine. He needs all that. He can't make pure gas units. Neeb, on the other hand, is like, mate, all I need is gas and just a little bit of minerals to flesh things out with Immortals and Zealots, right? But most of it's Archon and High Templar, which of course are 3 gas for every 1 mineral ratio. So that's actually such a good ratio for the Protoss player. Assimilators take a long time to run out, much longer than the minerals do. So Stalker up here trying to show off these overlords. Here we go. Nerchio looking for a huge flank. He's got a massive Hydra Bane up there. High Templar in the open. The 2 of them go down immediately. A nice Storm does zone, but another High Templar goes down. These Storms, these are his last Storm here on the back. He needs to land a good Storm. And oh man, he does land a good one on that left side of Nerchio's crumbles. There's no Overseer. There's no Overseer, so his units had to run a little bit too deep, but he does manage to overwhelm, and his Hydras are going to crack this army. He takes out the mothership. The Immortals go down, and oh my god, is this... No, he's actually forced to run. Neeb holds his ground. Nerchio's making pathogen glands right now. I think he's like, what do I do to close this game out? Do I make infestors? What the hell, man? Neeb just will not die. But Nerchio gets a bit of ground for himself. Oh man, he really needs a 6th base at this point. This base is already starting to lose mineral patches. Nerchio was so focused on trying to kill Neeb, he wasn't focused on expanding, and his mineral income's drying up, and that's gonna curtail him. I feel like after some of these fights, he could run away with this game, but nice adrenal gland +2 Zerglings are gonna shred these Zealots, and should be able to take down this expansion as well. Neeb, though, it's not as important. I mean, if Neeb can kill an Expo of Nerchio's just dead. As long as Neeb holds onto this middle base, he's okay. He's sitting pretty. And this top base is going to go down. Maybe not. Zealot Warpin saves it for now. We got Zealots going down the left as well. Ooh, this is also a very important base here for Nerchio. And it's very far away right now. Nerchio has to come forward with Zerglings and Hydras. The Zealots do take a half-decent trade. And Neeb jumps on top of the opportunity to take out this base in the top right. I talked about how Nerchio needs a 6th. Neeb's not going to let him take it. Cleans that up. And holy shit, what a back and forth game we have here. Both players tied neck and neck in supply, but Neeb's army supply is superior. The mobility is still in the hands of Nerchio. But at this point, his creep spread's being cleared up. His army is not going to be as powerful without that creep spread. The Banelings coming in do get a few decent connections. Good starter step from Neeb, but he's kind of caught in the open a little bit here. 1 Immortal goes down. If he can get another Immortal and another Archon, that's going to be big, but he doesn't want to overextend into these Zealots. And most importantly, the Storm. Get out of there, Nerchio. You've got to spread. Oh my god, an Archon Zealot flank from the left-hand side. The Baneling's a little bit too clumped. Nerchio being pushed into a corner. The Immortals and the Archons are going to close in on it. And Neeb, you boss. Nerchio looking a little bit like a piece of land in this game. Powerful, strong, and solid. Usually impassable to most players, unless you can walk on it. Neeb swims right through the chunk of land, says, I don't give a fuck because I'm a demigod. I do whatever the hell I want, man. And he just kind of absolutely destroys this game. Income, oh, great recall there. Pulls back, says, let's wait for more High Templar. Let's wait for more Psystorm. Good move. Nerchio can't secure another base. He's trying to secure the bottom left. He probably should try to take the top right at the same time, but he knows he's dangerously behind an army supply right now. And as it is, the army of Neeb is so much more efficient. Archons and Immortals coming through. 4 Archons, 5 Immortals. This red hit point Immortal has 28 kills, by the way. The Banelings not making it past the Archon wall. Great spread. Neeb's Immortal barriers are still there, standing strong behind this. Even once the Archons go down, these barriers are still fresh on all of these Immortals. And that means this is a very hard nut to crack for the Zerg player. Nerchio's in trubs right now. He's trying to take this gold base out of desperation. It's non-stop Zerglings and Banelings. We've got Plasma Shields on the way. A fantastic choice from Neeb at this point in the game. And it looks like he does want to try to push through. Nerchio trying to go for counterattacks. He knows he can't really fight this army. He's going to start running drones away. He goes for this base over here. The cannons, though, already doing a good start to the defense. It looks like one Zealot going to warp in. Token sacrifice there from Neeb. Of course, realizing he doesn't have any other warp in / it's not worth it. He's going to evacuate those probes. So Neeb still has a pretty healthy probe count up in the 50s. And Nerchio, on the other hand, ooh, he's going to come back. He's going to look for an engage here, but that's only a few Hydras and Banes. There's just not that many Hydras and Banes on the map. These Zealots have been split. Oh my god, I didn't realize he split them into both those other bases. And Nerchio just taps out because he just had so few Hydras, he couldn't actually deal with that. If we go back about 10 seconds, yeah, these Zealots split into these bases, and Nerchio was just running around with his measly little army trying to do something, but he just didn't have a core of Hydras. You look at this and you're like, where's the Hydra concave? Oh, he only has 10 Hydras in the units tab. Nerchio is just dead. GG, well played. Holy shit, and especially that 17-minute hold by Neeb. Obviously, he had better units. He had Storms, he had Archons, but the unit count was just looking so frightening. Let's go up to 17 minutes and take a look at that one. Holy crap. So, here at 17 minutes, he's trying to get this 5th up. He's down about 24 army supply at this point. And that's including 17 Banelings right now. I think we might see a few more Banelings come in as well. Yeah, so he's going to go up to about 30 Banelings here. Some of them aren't quite ready morphing, but look at this engagement. So what you're going to notice is Neeb, that he's often encountering this huge concave of Nerchio, right? And what he does is he pulls his army back from going out into the open. If he fights here, he gets destroyed. But he'll go forward, take a few shots. Whenever he does that, Nerchio has to attack move. So say he's only fighting this part of the concave, Nerchio attack moves, and that means the top half of his army will come a bit further forward. And then Neeb pulls back, and whenever you pull back and your opponent's units are attacking towards you, they clump up naturally, right? And watch how he does that. I'm going to slow this down. So he comes forward, High Templar going in and forward and back. There we go. Nerchio just activated all of these units. He said, A move. And watch Neeb, he pulls back, he lets him clump, and then he drops Storms. Nerchio tries to reposition the concave. He says, nope, we don't want to eat the Storms, pull back. He's predicted that. But then in comes this beautiful Zealot flank. These Banelings weren't quite ready yet. They're out of position. And these Hydras start getting destroyed. The Banelings are all up there. He's already wasted a bunch of Banelings into the Archons as well. And then suddenly, these Zealots start collapsing in on that flank, fighting the Hydras a few at a time. Essentially, these Hydras end up being in the worst possible position. Because yeah, they're in a concave facing this army, but the flank comes in and catches them on the side, engages a few of the Hydras at a time. At the same time, the Zealots start busting down the right-hand side, and what are the Hydras doing in this fight? They were killing cannons, they were attacking the Nexus, and they were repositioning because they were afraid of clumping up for Storm. And we see, once again, he's trying to dodge Storm now. And these Banelings come in just a little bit too late from here. The High Templar, being super ballsy, actually jump into the very front of the battle. Now, Nerchio could see this. He did have Cloak, but he didn't have any Banelings left up there because the Banelings were all here. The Archons absorbed them. And here, they're coming in too late, and the Immortals are gunning them down. Lands 6 Storms there. And Nerchio's whole army just gets obliterated. Now, in hindsight, maybe forcing the issue here wasn't the best idea. In general, forcing the issue against that sort of defensive positioning, probably not the best choice for Nerchio. What I would have loved to see would have been for him to keep dropping at this stage in the game. It had been a few minutes since he dropped. If he loaded up another drop and even went for like a Doom drop, like 5 Overlords, I feel like that could have been really powerful. But I understand why he kept hitting the front, because that's how this Baneling style works, where you want to catch your opponent's spellcasters out. You want to try and eliminate them, and if you can get rid of them, then it goes really well. GG, well played. What an epic match. At the end of that, that was just crazy. That was crazy. GGG. So, units lost at the end of that, guys. We see Neeb was about 11,000 resources, more cost efficient here. We see workers killed, 51 by Neeb, 39 by Nerchio. An incredible game. Incredible series. Neeb takes it 2-1. Man, stressful series for Neeb after he should have had game 1, let it slip away, and then almost lets game 3 slip away as well. So close, but he clutches it back. And that's what it's all about, man. Being clutch when under fire. All righting, thank you for the 6-month sub, dude.